Opportunity to just to be up here standing next to you has just been a real privilege.
We wouldn't trade it for the world, Kenny. Thank you so much for your professionalism over the years. And you're going to call off the racers as they pass in front of the checker pylon. And again, you folks know.
Well, it's time for the gold medal race, the final race, the championship for T6 planes. And we have 6 planes getting ready to take to the sky now. You just saw right there Chris Rushing, defending champion there, race 14, Baron's Revenge.
That's right, Tommy. And our number 2 qualifier here, Vic McMahon, race 66 out of Vancouver, British Columbia, in Gunslinger.
There we go with Nick Macy, 6-time winner here in the 6 Cat. Been here for many years racing. And that is race number 6.
Behind him in the white race 50, plane we call Abracadabra. This is Vitaly Prochersky out of Van Nuys, California, AT6.
There's the red plane. That's Joel Stinnett from Tulsa, Oklahoma. Race number 43, Midnight Miss 3.
And in race 88, you see him on the left here momentarily. You see it out of the cockpit on the right. This is John Lomar out of Galesburg, Illinois. Radial Velocity is the name of the airplane. We're going to be able to bring you this in-cockpit shot this entire race, Tommy. It's fantastic. What a beautiful T6. Now, this class has one of our most storied and unique classes that we have. This airplane that's taking off is our observer safety plane, and the folks at Reno rally off the ride in the back seat.
Oh, yeah.
A lucky fan each race gets to be in the back seat of this aircraft, which is just quite a thing to see and experience. And in this case, there you see our lucky winner in the back seat, and they will climb up, stay behind the planes as they line up, and then eventually orbit overhead along with the pace plane, who departed right before we started reading racers here. So
that is the ride of the week right there for sure.
Yeah, absolutely. Now, Tommy talked about this class. They're all T6s. This really is match racing between stock aircraft for the most part. AT6s are advanced trainers from the World War II era, built by the North American Aviation Corporation, built in 2 locations, Inglewood, California, and Grand Prairie, Texas. There's about 150 of these still flying around the world. They produced over 15,000 of them, but there is just such an iconic aircraft. We're going to see versions here racing today that represent the 3 versions of the aircraft. The AT6 is the Army Air Corps U.S. Air Force version. The SNJ is the Navy Marine version. And then in Canada, we had the Harvard, the license-built Canadian version. So all of those have been flying here this week. We have 19 T6s in the class this week. And here for the gold pairing, this is the best of the best, the fastest of the fastest here in the T6s. We're going to have 6 of them here in just a minute that are going to be making their way down to our T6 course, which is just a little under 5 miles. We'll do 6 laps around that. And Tommy, we've seen other classes in the T6 today that were so evenly matched, we had to go to photo finish to figure out who was who there at the finish line. I expect the same thing here in the gold.
Absolutely. 55 years this class has been flying here, and they are going around for the last time in Reno. T6's the final flag. It's the gold match coming up. Great planes, great racing. They have afforded us some great races this week, and we expect no less this time around. T6 Gold is coming up when we return right back to Reno. Planes in the air. Final T6 race ever here. The 2023 National Championship Air Races in Reno. Let's talk to Vic McMahon, starting in the 2nd position.
Yeah, it's
history if you win that.
that would be awesome, but we'll see how it goes. I mean, it's going to be so hard to beat Chris. I don't know what he's doing with that thing, but it's moving. And he's been doing that for the last 4 or 5 years, so it's hard to say. I don't anticipate even being able to get close to him with whatever he's done. But I'm hoping to at least hold on to my position, 2nd. But I've got race 6, Nick Macy, and all the racers. They're all very competitive, and it's hard to get by someone and so I have a bit of an advantage by qualifying faster than them. It's hard to get by somebody. You need about 4 or 5 miles an hour to be able to have some zoom to get by them, because it's like running track. You're on the outside of the course. It's a longer course, so you know, pulling G's around the corner, along the flats, it's really hard to pass somebody. So.
Hi guys, good morning. Yeah, we're starting on the pole in the gold race today, so that's the objective you want to get to all year long, is get to Sunday on the pole in the gold race. So that's where we are. So we're real fortunate to be here. Got a great crew chief, great team members. The weather's been beautiful. The whole event's been really nice. All the volunteers here, can't thank them enough. You know, this is our last day here at the Reno Air Races instead, and you know, God's given us good weather, blessed us with safe flying, and just got one more day.
Gentlemen, you are released
today. You know, last night we stayed later in the pits, even though we were tired. But it was just trying to get their last little bit of our Reno family, and just to try to hang out, see people, make it last longer. And you know, just enjoy it. This is just such a unique environment, and I mean, there's nowhere else on the planet to do this. I don't know what's in store for us, what's going to happen in 2025. It's yet to be seen, but you know, hopefully there's something that can compare to this.
Chris Rushing and Vic McMahon 1 and 2 all week, and now they are in action. The race has begun. T6 Gold.
Yeah, here we are, Tommy. You see the two of them on the far left of your screen, the gray airplane out in front. That is Chris Rushing. Behind him, Vic McMahon, and behind that, Nick Macy in the black 6 Cat. All of those are T6s, and we make our way around. Behind that, Abracadabra, Vitaly Pechersky, and Joel Stinnett. And then you're in cockpit camera view there in the bottom, right out of the cockpit of John Lomar, race 88. So we're going to keep watching these all the way around. It is race class matching in stock aircraft all the way around. Now, just as Vic McMahon said, Chris Rushing has been able to get out front, and you saw him take advantage of that pole position again today. You see him here as he makes his way around the west end of our course, completing lap number 1. Tommy, these laps are going to knock off pretty fast for us.
Chris Rushing, the defending champ. There's always been a great battle for second all week long in this class. We'll keep our eye on that as well.
Battle for second and third here as they come across the home pylon. The aircraft closest to you, Nick Macy in race 6. Inside is race 66, Vic McMahon. McMahon should have the advantage as he stays on the inside track, but here's the man that's utilizing that to perfection this week. Defending champion Chris Rushing in Barron's Revenge. That beautiful music of the Pratt & Whitney air-cooled 9-cylinder engines and those 9-foot-long Hamilton standard metal props with the tips going supersonic. That combination is just music to everybody's ears here in Reno in September, and anywhere that you see a T6 fly. Great 3-angled view here. You got your leader on the left with Rushing. You got your battle for second, which is wingtip to wingtip between McMahon and Macy, and then the inset from Lomar in the back. But here is the battle for second right there, coming around the pylon, number 6 and 7. And we're back to the split view. Your leader coming across the start-finish line. Your battle for second continues right here. You know, 6 Cat, the black airplane that's trailing in this view right here in third position, really has been doing everything he can to get around McMahon. But you heard McMahon say in the pre-race interview, he's got the inside advantage. Somebody's going to have a fair amount of speed to get around him.
John Lomar chasing it most effectively through the weekend. And our leader again doing what he's been doing all weekend since last year, since he is our defending champion, leading Chris Rushing.
A great view in the bottom there. Out of Lomar's aircraft, you can see the person that he is trailing, which is Joel Stinnett in the Midnight Mist 2, I believe. Great look at 50 feet over the desert in a T6.
If you were watching, you saw him go past Vitaly Pechersky just a couple of seconds ago, really.
There you can see Lomar on the right screen, top right, the blue with the yellow stripes. He has moved into 4th position, and he is closing in on this battle for 2nd between those two. We may have a real knot here, Tommy. We are halfway through, a little over halfway through. Now our leader is completing lap number 3, about to start lap number 4, and we've got 3 aircraft just tied up in a knot here. So keep your eye, ladies and gentlemen, on that in-cockpit view. You're going to be able to see Lomar out the window, and then on the screen top left, you see him. He does have some speed on both of those aircraft. It's going to be interesting to see how he does it. Great view there in the bottom. Tommy,
that is awesome.
Yeah, look at the shadow on the ground. You can see how close these aircraft are. Ladies and gentlemen, this is it. Shoulder-to-shoulder racing here at Reno as we come around the pylon at 50 feet. Upwards of 235 miles an hour in these aircraft. Stock airplanes, Tommy, look at that. You can throw a blanket over all 3 of those.
Big McMahon just trying to hold on. He wants his 2nd place finish. He told us that in the interview.
They are on the right side. That battle for 2nd is in the far northwest corner of our race course. They are about to come up to pylon number 4. You should be able to see that. What a great view out the window here of Lomar as he's directly behind Macy, and he's got McMahon off his left wing. Oh, wow, that is something.
Macy's very nearly overtaken McMahon at this point, it looks like.
Yeah, we'll have to see, though. McMahon still has the inside track. That's the shortest way around. Again, racing for gold, your leader on the top right. That is Chris Rushing. He's kind of out in front all by himself. The battle really is for 2nd right here on the left side of your screen. 2, 3, and 4 all knotted up together, and they are very close as they come by the home pylon. On these pylons, they roll it up on the left wing. They're pulling 3 to 4 Gs from what I understand. Look at how close that is. Look at the shadow on the ground. 50 feet above the deck, 235 miles an hour.
Final race, the gold race, nothing left in the tank this time. Don't leave anything on the table.
Yeah, and you can see 66 McMahon has been passed by Macy, who's out in front there in this shot. And you can see Lomar continuing to look left, keep his eye not only on the pylon, but on his competitor, Vic McMahon, who is still inside him here in the turn.
White flag, white flag.
You heard that on the radio. Our leader just crossing the home pylon here momentarily for the white flag one last time around for him. You can see the leader down on the top right. We see 2nd place on the top left as they come through. You can also see that out the window here of our in-cockpit cam from John Lomar. He again tries to get another run on Vic McMahon in race 66. You can see Macy out in front of him up in the top portion of your screen. For the last time, they're going around pylons 1 and 2 on the far eastern portion of the course. Now you can see those 3 in the top right. Our leader on the left is making his way down the west portion of the course. Wow, Tommy, this is competitive.
Good stuff. Nick Macy's got having his best performance of the week now. Battle now is for 3rd place.
Omar's got less than half a lap to make it happen. Here's your leader. Coming around pylon 6 and 7 for the last time, headed for the checkered flag is Chris Rushing, race 14. On the left side, you see Lomar and McMahon continuing to battle it out for 3rd and 4th. Moving through right there on the front is Macy in 2nd. And here's the battle as we come to the checkered flag. Tommy, can Lomar do it? Does he have anything for McMahon? Here he comes. Oh, man, didn't quite get there. And we bring up the back, Pachersky in the white airplane. The red is Joel Stinnett in Midnight Miss 3. Oh, my goodness, Tommy. Another race for medal that was incredibly competitive. It doesn't get any better than that. Truly the fastest motorsport on the planet. Wow.
Hats off to our medal winner, Chris Rushing. Here's how he did it. Here's how he defended his title here with the gold medal in Reno.
Yeah, you see him out front there. He just disappeared off the side of the screen. Initially, the battle was for second between Dick Macy and Vic McMahon. They battled it out all the way around, but there your leader, Chris Rushing, had it out front. He stayed there. He's done that all week long. But here's the battle. Here you see Macy passing McMahon. McMahon talked about that in the pre-race interview, and this is what it takes. It's the longer way around to pass on the outside, so it took a little while for Macy to make it happen, but eventually the 6-cat T6 was able to get out there. Now, John Lomar, with our in-cockpit view in the blue and yellow T6, was right in the mix of it as well. He did his best to get around Vic McMahon, and at the end, when they go around one more time here, this is kind of mid-race. We've got the three of them all knotted up, but eventually Nick Macy in 6-cat race 6 pulls out in front. There is your leader who continued to stay out front as he comes around the pylon. And this is where we've got Macy passing McMahon. Lomar's right in the mix here for a long time. We had some of the coolest footage I've ever seen out of the cockpit right here,
Just
Tommy.
breathtaking, jaw-dropping stuff from out of the plane of John Lomar.
There's Pachersky and Stinnett back in the pack during the race. But there's our leader. On the rails up front, he just had it wired flag to flag. And then here we are down the backstretch for the final time, Tommy. You see Lomar making an attempt. He's got the nose down. Here's our leader taking the checkered flag as he comes by. Right behind him, Macy ends up going second, and this was the race for third right here. Lomar's giving it everything he has, but it looks like he just quite didn't get there, and that Vic McMahon and Gunslinger was able to hold off Radial Velocity. And that slow motion looks like